welcome back to Coffee and Chaos. Today I brought back Tom and my sister Angel. And before we get into our topic, we're going to have a discussion for about a second for coffee because Tom has already irritated me this morning. So we get coffee.
He hasn't had his coffee yet, though. That's why.
I got an excuse.
But what did he put in his coffee? That's like, coffee is coffee. Like, you don't need to add anything to it other than cream and you go.
Why do you got to be irritated about it? Why do you have to have any type of feeling about it?
Because what did you put in your coffee?
Caramel pretzel protein.
You put protein powder in your coffee.
Yeah.
But it takes away from the taste of coffee.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Not
it does.
caramel pretzel.
I tasted it.
It goes perfect with vanilla coffee.
So what's the point of putting protein in your coffee? What is it supposed to do?
Kills two birds with one stone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So repairs the muscle breakdown.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, I have my sugar in my coffee, which really gets me going. So that's all. What are you drinking besides your coffee? What do you have in there?
Electrolytes.
Okay, so I'm the unhealthy one today. You two go. All right. So I'm just going to shut up and let's get into this. So with us being single, we wonder what we would look for in a person. We have, as we say, a checklist. We have boxes to be filled. And is that reasonable today at our age to want all those boxes to be filled?
That's a long question.
And how unrealistic are those boxes?
Who has? I don't have a. Okay.
You don't have the boxes to be checked?
I don't
have a
that.
checklist?
Nope.
You don't have things that you want out of a person, character, this, that, whatever it may
I guess
be?
I have like something like you can't be ugly, fool. Like
The first thing, can't be ugly.
You
But that is according to like everybody has their own sense of ugly. You know what I mean? Like so it's not that they can't be. You just have to be attracted to them,
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
Because you find somebody and I might be like, oh, and then I'll find someone. You're like, oh, and same thing with Tom. He might
I
think
don't
he
like
got this
anybody
hot.
that you like.
Well, we have a.
long as
That's
I
what I'm
like
saying.
her.
We have a huge.
Yeah.
That's
long
all
as
that
I like
matters. Yeah. So your checklist because
His requirements is what it sounds like.
well, and that's
Right?
the thing
Same thing,
is,
right?
Yeah.
Box checklist.
Yeah.
but why at our age do we have to have those? Is it because we are quote unquote damaged or trying to get through stuff and we don't want to go back in past relationships and deal with the same thing? Because like I'll look at my daughter, for instance, when she met Jackie, there wasn't a checklist, but they're younger than us, right? They met.
Yes, there was a checklist.
Everybody.
You think that? I don't think there was a checklist with Loran and Jackie.
Of course.
What are you talking
Everybody.
about? Of course.
I think
In fact, I'm going to tell you this. Younger people have longer checklists than older people do.
You think so?
I
do.
think they saw each
I
other.
do. I
and
do.
they drank and
Why
they
do you think
danced
that?
and they were in love.
Because well, okay, let's sort of clarify the ages. Okay, when you're really young, it's like, oh, he's cute or he's my friend or whatever. But when you get into those mid 20s, it's like, okay, he's got to either A, have a job, B, have a car, C, be this height, have this kind of,
That sounds like my
six
checklist.
pack. It's all these things, right? So, but I think to answer your question, since you guys asked me to chime in early, I'm chiming in a little early. When you get older, your checklist is going to be based on the experiences you've had. But I don't want to just immediately go negative and call it damage. It's just experience.
Right.
So, you're going to say, okay, I had this kind of guy who just didn't fit my lifestyle. I like to run and jog, and he likes to sit at home. The next guy I want is someone who likes to be outdoors. It'll be stuff like that.
I think I'm doing really bad. No check box. Didn't think about that.
I don't.
Do you
I think you have them. You just don't.
Okay,
know what
like
they are,
other
maybe.
than like, hey, well, you got to be down, obviously.
Gotta be, that is like the
Gotta be
number
down.
one thing
Like,
on
you gotta
your
be
life.
down.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
what
like-
is be down?
Like,
Describe that. For me.
like-
Yeah, what does that mean?
you got to be solid. So
But
like,
Solomon's asking me, what does that mean?
I just said it. You got to be solid.
Okay, so you got to describe that. What is
Oh,
solid?
wow.
She's like, we're going deep.
You got to be one of my own.
Okay, describe that.
Yeah.
What is one of my
What?
You gotta
Okay,
be a
look.
thug.
Anyways, look,
Wait, where's the?
you got to be solid.
What was
And I'm just saying, like, I never thought about, like, oh, you have to have a car or, oh, you have to have a job. I don't even think about, if I think about that now, like, I mean, I guess, like, right? Like, because you honestly, what do you have to have? Like, I just thought you had to make me laugh.
Okay,
Well, that's one of
good,
your
but that's
check-
good.
that's one of
gotta
them.
make
But
me
that's
laugh.
Not
good.
just.
But
you have
like,
to be down.
but nobody ever makes me laugh.
Nobody.
No.
Well, you do have your we all have
We
our
laugh all the
odd
time.
sense of
So
humor.
like no, but I'm not fucking you. So like,
Oh.
like so like
Woo.
so when
You
I
do not count.
So I see. so like no. So like what makes no
Damn.
sense to me is that like okay this box checking thing whatever right like like Fat Boy like he kind of like resembles a lot of my dad like you know what I mean like so like he doesn't laugh he has no sense of humor straight face now don't get me wrong there's times that I pulled that shit out like but pull it out where like instead of like with other people like they make me laugh like I don't end up with somebody that like I like those things I don't know why it's like that
But when
Does that
you were
make sense?
younger, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think when you're younger, you don't think of a checklist. I think when you're
Right.
younger, you just go based off emotion.
Well, I think it's unconditional love when you're younger.
Oh, that's another
Uh,
topic.
yeah, that's another podcast because we talked about
I
that.
think
'cause
it's
that's-
unconditional love.
I agree.
And,
I agree.
And according to Tom over there, he thinks it's all
It's always got
conditional.
a condition.
I don't believe.
I don't believe
Unless
that.
it's your mom loving you or
Even that has
your
like,
parents.
okay, that's
Well,
a whole nother
yeah, but-
thing. We'll get into
yeah.
that another time. But
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
because I feel like
Did you say mom love has conditions? Is that what you just
a
said?
lot of mothers,
I have conditions. I don't love my kids unconditional.
I love mine, obviously. We all know unconditional.
No, like they definitely better be good to me if they want me to be good to them.
Well, it doesn't mean you wouldn't love them. But yeah, we're going to get to
Yeah,
off on
that's
the topic.
we're gonna get off topic and we'll go back. So we'll come back. But back to like I think when Loran and Jackie met, I don't think there was, and I could be wrong, and we will have them have to come on and correct me if I'm wrong. But on the outside looking in, hearing both their stories, they met, they were out, they had a great time, and from the next day they were just together. I don't think they went down this list of, oh, well, do you have this? Well, do you have that? I think it just because they were young,
Chemistry.
yeah, they
Yeah.
were able to just connect and they went. And I'm
They
sure
might have just got lucky, though.
they might have, and I like Seth said at their wedding, like we're all jealous of what they have because not only that, they did it without thought. They
Come on.
just there's no thought in it. They just went. They took the chance, and
Right.
there they go. There was nothing holding them back. Where I feel like
I think
today
it should be like that.
I should be.
I think you
But-
guys have
Today,
But as
everything's holding us
But
back.
as we get older, like
You
okay,
can
so
hold
let's
yourself
let's
back.
let's go off your checklist first or your boxes, however you want to like. So you meet a girl. What are your boxes that she has to check off that you're thinking you'll date her long term, or maybe even marry her one day?
Well, excuse me for looking on my phone, because actually that's one thing that I hate that the girls do. They're on the phone every 2 seconds.
Yeah, very rude,
there's a-
especially if there's like something
So,
important to talk
Maybe
about.
we've got a couple
Yeah.
pet peeves too to add to the list.
Yeah, but those are pet peeves. Like you
But
gotta
wait.
like
No,
because I'm that girl on the phone.
you're
so
totally
I'm like,
that girl. That is terrible.
So
She
So,
did it
but
to me
if
the
I'm
other day, that
if
shit had me hot.
if you're not giving me your undivided attention and I
Yeah.
tell you a couple things and then you ask me a few minutes later and I ask you, so what did I just say? Because you're
'Cause
trying to
it's rude.
multitask, thinking you're
Oh,
doing
okay.
two.
Okay, I
and then
understand that. Okay.
and then I'm like, now I got to repeat myself. First of all, you're upset that some guys don't communicate. Then when they communicate, you're not listening,
No, it's just rude.
right? And it's
No,
rude.
no, I
So-
understand that. I
Just
So
They
going
just,
into that, right?
Go.
My first thing, and this is like by no particular order, but would be communication, right?
and you communicate.
I very much am. a
So you're not
communicator.
anything on this list. You're not saying I want this, but I'm also willing to give all that.
I'm willing to give every single one of these.
Okay, let's go. Keep going.
Yeah.
no interruptions, sis.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
Wait, I have a quick question, Tom.
Sure.
Did you
Hey.
actually write all this down on your phone or what?
Yeah.
I wrote it down on paper and then I took a picture.
I told him last night. You better be
You
prepared.
guys did your homework. I see.
We did.
Yeah.
I didn't do
All
my
right.
homework, so there you
Yeah.
go.
What
Fail.
about you? You
Fail.
didn't do any homework.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't do it in school. I ain't doing it now.
So I would say, so the next thing that I have here would be a person of good character, loyalty, integrity, respect. Also, and then goes into like I have to be attractive. They have to be, I have to be attracted to them.
Do you have a
it's
star
only
by that
for
one?
me.
Like a red star?
A red star. So that's a real big
I
one,
think you
right?
should have said
It's
that on
definitely a
number
big
one.
one for me.
That
and
is
the way
a huge one for him.
Yeah.
and the way that they carry themselves. So you could have an attractive woman, but she's just showing it all out, and she's pretty, but she's not
Yeah.
doesn't have any class. Like I want her to have class, So that's big for me. Common interest. that we both like to do the same thing, so that we're going on this, the same page. Some people might not know what this next one is, unless you're a Bible reader, but it's equally yoked. Equally yoked, putting this in the same effort.
And none of those are in order. It's just your list.
None of them are in order.
Is that it?
No.
Oh,
Well, explain the equally yoked one.
Equally yoked means, so the oxens would plow the field, right? And you'd have 2 oxen plowing a field, and they had the yoke. The yoke was what harnessed them together, and then they plowed in the same rate of speed. So they were on the same page as each other. So that's why in the Bible say, you have to be equally yoked in order, for this relationship to work. So you guys got to be like on the same page. You got to be going the same
going in the same
speed
direction, same
and
speed.
Yeah, going in the same direction, right?
Got it.
Putting in the same effort, right? The next one I have here would you have the same purpose and the same vision of what you want to do. So if your purpose and division is, you want to go off and live in a country and do missionary work, and the other one's like, no, I'm going to stay here and retire. Well, then obviously your purpose is different, and you're going to have a hard time. For me, I need to be stimulated mentally. So I want a girl that is going to make me think outside the box. That's going to make me, rise to the occasion. That's going to bring things to my attention that I haven't thought about. A good work ethic. And that is very goal orientated, and these are things that I am, so that it kind of goes along with the same, like I want somebody like that. So, and then brings out the best in me, making me better with them. So that's my list.
Do you think that at our age, that's possible to find a woman that has all those things?
I do think so. I don't think that list, like when we say, hey, they might have all of those traits. To what degree? Mm-hmm. Maybe their work ethic is really good, but it's not through the top, and it's not a 10. Well, that's all right. It doesn't have to be through a 10. But
if she's 6'2", right, Tom? It's a no.
Yeah. Well, that's another subject.
So what happened? But you got all 10. She's a slight taller than you.
So wait, you're saying that if he got all 10?
Asking.
No, but I'm going to clarify. So if he got all 10.
He got all 10, right, Tom?
But she's taller than him.
His qualifications is to get all 10.
There is qualification. So we did talk about that the other day, and that was something that blew my mind, because I never thought about it. When they say, these women a lot of times have these things that they want out of a man. They're like, hey, I want the guy to make this kind of money, and I want him this tall, and I want, and that list starts getting a lot smaller for them, right? And then guys are like, well, I think you're being ridiculous, right? He has to be 6'1", whatever. Yeah. But then the other day, our friend said, hey, Tom, well, what would happen if, now reverse that role, and that girl's 6'1" and you're 5'10"? Like, would you have a problem with that? And I would, you know what? I would have a problem with that.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like short little Mexicans will take one down. I got a brother who takes one down. Like
Mexicans like tall girls.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Girls.
Yeah.
But I think for a man in that checklist, you will find somebody easier. I think women, there's 2 women. We had to talk about women last week. I feel like women today work. They do more. They can hold the house down. They can hold themselves accountable. Yes, there's the other group of women who are, I don't need no man, and I'm this and I'm that. We're not talking about those women. We're talking about really hardworking women who have to survive, have to take care of their kids, have to go to work, and they're really good. I think there's a lot of them, and I think you will find somebody. But there's some point you're going to have to give something. Like, what if you found a really good woman, but she has kids and she's working and she's doing this and she's doing that, so she doesn't have the time or the energy to put into her body like you want. You wouldn't give her, even if she's pretty, but she's a little thickalicious. You wouldn't give in on that?
That's fine. They don't have to be a gym rat like me. I'm that way, but I'm a little bit overboard. But I just want her to be active because I want to do stuff with her. I don't want to, not go on that bike ride, not go on a hike, not share my life with her.
What if she didn't have a man to do that with, and now would you be willing to show her all those things?
Definitely.
And bring all those things in with her?
Why do you have why? Why the box? Why the check box? Like, did you have it? Did you have it in the beginning, Tom?
No, when you talked about that. No, I never thought about that because you're young. You never think about those things, right?
So that's when.
So then later on, you realize, right? If
later on, when what happens? Would you? What happened?
Well, when he got
there's certain
divorced,
things-
Easy.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
there's
Tom.
certain things, but I'm not going to get too much into that. Just
Yeah.
I don't want to irritate
No.
people.
Yeah.
But
We're just
there's just
speaking. We're generally speaking.
there's things that happen in your life, and then you realize, hey, man, like you really need to have a lot of those things checked off in order to make it work. If one thing's out the door right away, if communication's not there, it doesn't matter all the other stuff. If you guys can't communicate, so it is important that you do have those things. You do have those checklists there, because all it takes is one or two of them, and relationships going south.
Well, that's kind of like
If character, for one. If you said character, she could have shitty ass character. No, it is non-negotiable for me.
I agree with that.
I
I
get
agree with
that.
that.
Okay,
There's certain things that are non-negotiable for me.
Which I understand, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, you're just.
There's certain things.
I don't think I think all your boxes are unnegotiable for you.
Probably, but like again, it just depends on what degree are they at. Like, is she willing to work towards those things? Or
So how do you
kind of
like
the
it for
same
women
page?
to have check boxes towards you men?
They should too.
So we
100%.
and we
should
do.
never be settling for less, and that's what happens. We all a lot of times settle for less, and then you're in this relationship that it's not ideal.
People don't like to be alone, so they settle with someone
Sure.
just to have somebody.
Sure.
But I think it's going to be easier for you to find somebody than, like, say, for me, because my checklist is, I haven't even attacked those things on my checklist. My checklist is, you laughed at me last night when I was like, well, he needs to have a job. And you see, and you were like,
that's a give me, I think,
but
I didn't talk about that.
Like, there's, like, again, like, if you
So
meet
what's your little check?
my checklist is not like, I haven't even attacked those things. Mine's like zero tolerance for, like, can't take pills, can't be at the bar drinking every weekend. You can't be the party guy. Like, I'm like, that's not who I am as a person. I don't want that in my life. You have to have a job. And he was like, okay, well, what if he works at 7-Eleven? And I was like, well, it's a job. Then I was like,
that would not go down, right?
No, but then he said, well, he has to have goals, right? And I said, yeah. So let's say I met somebody who worked at, like I said, the manager at In-N-Out. They make pretty decent money, but he's going to school at night at a trade school, or he's going to college to get his degree. Like, if you're trying to constantly better yourself, that's a huge plus for me.
Oh yeah,
Like,
because you dated a lot of guys that go to In-N-Out and are going to college. Those are the guys that catch your eye.
You never know who's going to catch my
That's not what I
eye.
asked you.
I've dated. I date
you.
no, because usually the guys that I've dated are already in their careers.
Oh.
I've never really dated somebody who wasn't in his career.
Okay.
But in today's time, like, I don't.
But for
know.
some reason, they haven't caught your attention. These guys that go to
It was just an example of what we were saying.
I'm just saying, as an example, it sounds like a little bit like.
Well, let's be realistic, though. Let's be realistic, because at our age, if there's somebody working at 7-Eleven making hourly, if that at that age and they haven't accomplished much, that's probably not somebody who's going to have future prospects.
Yeah, that's why I said
Why?
job.
What's wrong with that guy?
Because if you're 49, 50 years old and you haven't gotten into a career field yet, chances are you probably aren't going to get there.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so since you don't make the money that you make, but you do everything else, that's great. It's not good enough?
You still got to eat.
No, there's people that
just
that
asking.
have good. There's people that have good jobs. Like, okay, like
Wait, no, I asked Solomon. He didn't answer me.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. I was
Okay,
looking at,
well, no.
I'm looking at you.
At the end of the day, you have to be able to fulfill your obligations. If you have a single guy who's 50 years old, works at 7-Eleven, and he pays all his own bills and takes care of himself, then you have to ask yourself, if you walk into his life, is he going to be able to do things that are conducive to being able to take care of a couple? As a man, you're always thinking, not that it's necessarily going to happen, but if my wife loses her job or my girl loses her job, am I going to be able to step up? It's not just about, I have a job and I'm good enough to take care of myself. So yeah, you want to have the ability to make more money if necessary. So yeah, I would think that's absolutely a requirement to have more money.
Oh, I guess that's not one of my requirements.
Definitely for me is definitely, because I want to at some point, like, after grandma, goes home to heaven, like I want to travel. I want to do things. So I want someone who's able to do things with me, and I don't want to foot the entire bill. And I'm not saying like I want to go to Europe for a month and he has to pay all. That's what I'm saying. But even if it's just Palm Springs for a weekend, if it's just, you know, to Santa Barbara for a weekend, or even if it's Puerto Vallarta or something, like I'm not going to pay the entire bill. That's just not who I am. I've worked too hard and I've came too far to support some man. The only man I'm supporting.
Well, I didn't say easy. I didn't say support a man.
I don't think I need that. You know, I had a friend of mine. She was saying, like, Tom, you need to, you know, meet a girl that, what does she bring to the table and all this different stuff, and, you know, makes really good money. And I'm like, well, I don't really care about that. Like, if all these other things and the, you know, the girl can make $300,000 a year, okay, great, she could buy me and do and whatever. But if she doesn't check all these other boxes I want, but this other girl's making $50,000 a year, I'm like, I'm fine with the girl that makes $50,000 a year. You know. And I think even as a man, it's kind of more, I do.
So, because for me, like kind of what Solomon said, if I met somebody and he made like somewhere between 30 and 50 grand a year, like, what are you doing? You're probably at 7-Eleven. You're probably at something like that. And I need somebody who's a lot stronger and a lot tougher than me, and someone who's going to challenge me daily, someone who's going to want me to be better, and I'm going to want him to be better. And I don't mean just work-wise. I mean in general, like, I want us to be better together. I want you to teach me things from a man's point of view that I've never seen or I've never understood, because now I'm seeing you how hard you work.
You're better with them than without them. They make you rise to the occasion.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not on your guys' level then at all.
Well, let's hear from you then.
I don't need none of that. Like, I don't have those requirements. I don't know. Like,
I work too hard.
Okay. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying for me.
So what do you like about a guy? Let's start there. Something.
I don't know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what I don't like. I don't really know what I like out of a guy, but like, and I get with their points about the whole money thing. I just don't give a fuck about your money. It's your money. And like, if we, as a couple and we grow together, like, cool. Like, cause you're supposed to better yourself. Like, I get that part, but like walking in and I see that like, you're cool. We get along, you know what I mean? We can bullshit. I don't want all these things in life that you do. So I don't have like, I don't want to travel to Europe. I don't want to. I want to go to my coast. I want to drink my little 40 and I want to enjoy the quietness of the fucking world. And for me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have this, so I guess I don't have the same check boxes. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not in jail. Like, I'm different. So like, I'm good with that. Like, so like, I don't have all these. And like, I come from humble beginnings, and I know if I lost my job today, I know exactly where I'll be. I'll be at 7-Eleven. I don't have no degree or no nothing.
Oh, I don't either.
I'm just saying, I don't have none of that, so I know where I'll be.
So what did you say you don't like?
So what I don't I don't like all kinds of things. Like,
okay, let's go.
Like, give us things that you don't want to deal with.
Like, what I don't want to deal with, like, fuck, I don't know. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to deal with a man who talks too much. I said that before. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to deal with a hot dog.
What's a hot dog?
Like, I don't like. So like a bitch. Like, he's like you know.
We all know it. I know it.
You know,
like
a sissy lala.
Yeah, like a lesser of a man.
I guess I gotta go get a job.
Yeah, like I
can understand.
I would like somewhat of a conversation, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've had plenty of, I've bullshitted with my homies all my life without having meaningful conversations. So I come from everything about me is going to be different.
You want to
have
meaningful conversations.
Like, I would have, because I don't have normal conversation. I have bullshit conversations. So I'm at a different point in my life. So I think my boxes are less because I'm not, all that is not on my agenda. So like, I'm unconditional. I'm gonna like you for you, not for what you have. Like, I'm just gonna like. I'm just saying, like, okay, well, I don't know. I don't care what money you make. Like, I don't care about now. I don't care about going to Europe. Like, I'm just saying.
I do. I'm not supporting a man.
Okay, I didn't say I was supporting. Okay, I never said I was supporting a man. I'm just saying I don't care about those things. Yeah. So like, I don't have a higher thing. Like, I could end up at 7-Eleven. At any given moment that I might have, that I blow up and like do some stupid shit at work. And that's just the reality of it. So like, I can't see me sizing up a man on those different things. And yeah, I guess it would just be based on vibe. Like, how I feel like I feel, how we like interact, and how I see you carry yourself. And I've said it before, I size a man up real quick on the way he looks and how he carries himself. You know what I mean? How he speaks. You know what I mean? The things he doesn't speak about. You know, like, so like I'm really good at stuff like that, but I don't have all these other, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's good because it's safe for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, right? It's safe. Like, okay, I'm gonna weed out all the bad shit because it didn't work out, or like, you know what I mean? This is my goals. I mean, those are all pluses. I don't see how it's a negative. I'm just saying for me, like, I don't have none of that because.
But do you think that his boxes of character,
I think he should have. I think he should have all those boxes.
But the way he has his boxes of character, how they carry themselves, those are also your boxes too, but just a different word.
Yeah.
So you don't want a hot dog, you don't want a Cisalala, but he wants a girl who has good character. You want somebody who carries himself.
I talked to Tom, so like I really know what Tom kind of wants of a girl, and that's a higher end of a girl, like, and for all his reasons, I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
so you want a bougie bitch?
No, he doesn't want. No,
she said higher end.
Higher end of a girl. Like, so he wants
classy.
Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Like, I've had these conversations. Yeah, like that, right? So like, so you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, I told Tom before, like, he's a pup into this new world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna find. I don't say that they're not there, but I'm saying like a lot of these women are damaged. A lot of these women have packages. A lot of these women, I don't know if he'll get all 10. I hope he does. Yeah. He has all 10 himself. You know what I mean? Like, so like, he's right. Like, I asked him one time, like randomly, like, hey fool, like, you think you're a 10? He's like, fuck yeah. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's good, you know? Like,
I think, but when you hit it, when you said though, like, he's a pup in this. Like, he came out of what he came out of, unfortunately. Yeah. You know, that's never good. Or whatever, he came out of it. So now he's like, okay, what do I do? And he's like, whoa, girls are like way different than when he was first started dating years ago. Like, you don't even have social media, right?
But what I like that about Tom is that, see, I don't want to like, he came out of whatever he came out. No, because I know better, you know what I mean? So like he came out of whatever he came out of. And so he's like, I'm not going to go back to that, or I'm not going to. So that's why like he said in the beginning, I think like most of us, when you're young, there is no boxes. You don't think of none of that. Yeah. You're like, you guys, and then you grow together and you make things happen and then you adjust together. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think like, and then there comes to a time where like something happens and you can't adjust certain things. Like, you know what I mean? And so like now that Tom's in the new world, because this is a new world that like is not the world that Tom came from. So this is a new world. Like, now he's like, and because so now Tom knows who he is as a man now too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Tom was a boy, and you know what I mean? A young man, and then like a man from like similar lifestyle to me, and he did all like, and now he's like a good man, you know, like with a good life, and like, so now he's like, okay, I'm not going to do this twice. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to so it's different. Like, just like for you, like you already traveled, you already did your life or whatever it is, like, so like now like you're gonna come to a point that you want to be selfish about yourself and what you do. Nothing wrong with that. Like, okay, this is my turn. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think a lot of people get defensive because they think that once you say this, like once I said what I had to say, you guys were like, oh, and it wasn't even like that. Because I have a different story and I have a different life. So I don't have all of that. None of those are possibilities in my brain. Like, I'm 46. So like, I know like where I can go back to and what it can be. And like, I don't know, food, have a white t-shirt, make me laugh. I don't know, go to the coast. We're not going to go.
Simple.
Simple. Hey, you're J's. You got different J's this week. That's right. I don't know. Like, is it a plus for me?
But it's for everybody's, I think it's everybody's boxes and checklist is according to their story, their history, what they've been through, and so for like him, I think the reason his is hard is because he is getting divorced and he was married for a very long time. And so now he's looking at it like, I want this, this, and this, but you've come out into a crazy world. Yeah. Girls are not, and I think girls as a positive have come so far. we should not be getting hit anymore. We are able to go to work and provide, where if a man is abusing us and cheating us, we're able to leave and we're able to go take care of ourselves. So all those are pluses. I think it's gotten extremely out of hand because now we've talked about this. Now girls are not only doing that, but they're shaking their ass on Instagram, right? They're not
because they think that they want to be like a man.
Yeah.
Like,
so
look, they don't you don't judge them, don't judge us. And I think that's.
But what happens when you meet a man? Like then you meet this person,
but they don't meet a man because like. You're not meeting a man because you're shaking your ass, so you're meeting a boy who's going to fuck you for the night. You're not meeting a man, and it just makes it worse. I think it makes it worse because I see it all the time. So I'll see this girl with lonjas hanging out, you know what I mean? A woman, right? And then that's the mother, right?
Yeah.
And she's walking out, and then there you go. You just made there goes your daughter looking the same way as you, except for her skin is still tight, you know, because she's a younger,
yeah.
So she ain't got all this shit hanging out and this and that. And now this is what you teach her.
But women today, and I shouldn't say women because there's a lot of women that are like that, but we're talking social media wise. It's such a party world now, like, right? Let me show this and let me do this and let me put on there. It's like, it's not anything he would look at.
Yeah.
Like I can show him 5 girls that I think I could hook him up with. And they are good people, right? They work hard. They take good care of their kids. But if he was to look at their social media, I already know he'd be like, nope, not dealing with that.
Well, then they're not good people.
But
how are they?
But I feel like
social media shows what they want to portray themselves. How is that good
And that's an argument is that social media, though, is social media. So that girl.
Yeah, that social media is what you want the world to see you as.
Well, not always.
Well, then why would you put it on social media if you don't want the world to look at you saying, "Look, she's shaking her ass."
Well, I wasn't talking about shaking her ass. I was just talking about out with her friends and out partying and having a good time.
Because I only went off of what you said. So you said on the social media, he might not like that.
Because I think if I showed him one of my friends who's out drinking all the time, who's a good person, but she's out with her friends all the time because she's looking for a good man. So she's single.
But she's drinking all the time.
She's out every weekend with her friends dating, going out, doing this and trying to find a good person, but she works Monday through Friday. She has a good job. She's a good mom, but she is single. Her kids are a little older, so she has all this free time. So she's going out. But if I showed him that, he'd be like you, like, oh, nope, she's out, she's partying. Like, social media, I think, ruins a lot of it for women.
I think women ruin a lot for themselves.
Oh, that's true too, but
I do, because you're the one who, this is what you want to portray. This is, even everything, like every moment doesn't need to be, for me, every moment doesn't need to be shared.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I agree. I don't need to take, I agree. I have social media. I'm not even I have jokes all day. You know what I mean? Jokes. Like, I don't need to share my moments with you guys. I know some people want to share their moments and that's why they put it on. So, but I'm having a moment with you. I don't need to sit there and share it to the world and then half of it's not genuine. It's like, oh, look at my outfit or look at my filter. And you don't even look the same. You're going to wake up, bitch, looking somebody else. I don't even know.
But and that's a whole other topic because a lot of girls need that. So and we've talked about that. A lot of girls need that constant confirmation. But I'm saying for him to go out there and to find somebody, I think it's going to be harder because we've been out there. We see what people are like where he was kind of secluded and now he's like, oh,
he has these boxes. And I don't think they're unfair boxes.
Oh, I don't think they're unfair. I just don't know if he'll fulfill them.
I think they're like pretty much, I guess that would be the basic of everybody, right? Me and you both like overthinking his list. Like, okay, first you gotta look decent, you know what I mean? Like, which good luck on that, Tom, because good luck on that. You know what I mean? Like, because
there's pretty girls.
No, I'm not saying that there's not pretty girls, but I'm saying women. I'm just saying women. There's a lot of women that have been through changes of life that has changed the way they looked. I'm not saying it's impossible.
We talked about that the other night.
I say there's always like, it doesn't need to be. I'm just saying. Okay. So, like, and of course, like, you want to have conversation with your significant other, like, that means something. You want to be on the same page that you're going to grow somewhere. These are all things that you guys think of, like, now. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, what about Gelly? She said it. She's right. Like, so my I don't know what you would call her, superintendent, whatever. Like, so she was like, and she said, like, the guy told her her boxes weren't checked, like his boxes for her. Like, and she's straight, like, and she made me laugh because she was right. She said she was like he only had one box and it wasn't even checked right, but I was willing to take that out. Like, she's a fool, you know what I mean? Like,
she said you only got one box to have to worry about in her.
Yeah.
Like, to take care of this box.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, because, and those are women, right? Because we're stronger women and we don't, you know, like, so I don't know.
But we talked about the other day, I said, what if you, going back to what a woman looks like how important that is to you, because women have kids, women have a past, right? Women and kids mess your body up. Like you don't look like you're 16 or 25 anymore. And for men, you guys have zero idea, zero clue what women's bodies go through physically, mentally, emotionally when you give birth to a child.
That is
well,
so
I get
funny.
that, but I do see a lot of them. They're still beautiful.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, even for me, like, I'm not.
You don't understand none of that.
You think I don't.
No,
I mean, I'm sure you like a tad of it.
But yeah, but from my point of view, I can look at all my friends who have, and I feel for them and I see them, but I have a friend who's gotten thicker. She's had kids, just, 4 kids. She's gotten thicker. And her husband adores the shit out of her. He doesn't care because he knows
unconditional. That's unconditional.
That's great.
So, but now let's
Great
say
for him.
See, but you're a jackbutt.
No, I'm not. No.
Because, like, let's say, God forbid, Lord wants this happen, he passes away, right?
Yeah.
And so now she has these kids and they're grown and now she wants to move on. Somebody like Tom is going to be like, damn, she's busted her ass. She works hard. Just, but you're a little chubby. I'm not gonna do it.
No, you know what?
Like,
that's not what I'm saying. And I don't think
Yeah, and I think that puts an unfair angle on
because I'm lost.
Because, Alina, always on the defense.
I watch people too, right? We study body language, everything about these people, right? How they move, what they do, what they say, where they use their energy, where they use their resources, right? And people don't put the effort in. So when you tell me that this girl's doing, I'm gonna call bullshit on some of this stuff, whether her body did, and I'm not saying we all are gonna adjust. We're never gonna stay this 25-year-old stud, whatever, at this great shape, right? We're never, right? But so I'm not saying to that level, but I don't want to hear some bullshit ass excuse when you're not putting the effort in and you're not making attempts and you're not eating friggin' vegetables, you're not doing this, and then you just want to give me, it's age. I'm just this, it's my body type. You know what? No. And the thing is, and again, we go back to that list, I'm willing to do every single one of them. I'm 51 years old.
Yeah.
I'm in shape. I don't want to hear.
But that's why he said the star next to yours, because even Solomon had said, he don't put in this work to look like this for him to have little chub rock on the side of him. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, I love chub rock.
Like, and there's nothing wrong with it.
The person could be a little bit like everybody's genetics are different.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, but you know what? As long as we went back, being the best version of themselves, being the best they can, that might be their body style, and that's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
You didn't clarify
at the beginning.
I mean, I didn't clarify it.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
But like how
being the best of themselves. I didn't need to clarify that. Like, but yeah, I still, and again, I'm attracted to her. Yeah. I don't care whether everybody else is like, oh, he's running around with a Barbie and he's got this, side piece, on his arm. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. And I'm not talking about a woman that has to be a gym rat like me and be into this crazy extreme. But I want a woman that, I'll be honest, man, I want to go on a hike and I don't want her to not be like at the hike going, I can't go. I'm like, man, I can't even go on a hike with her. Yeah. Because she's so out of breath and she puts all her energy and effort to other things. I
don't think anything's wrong with that either.
So how can I be
Tom is 51. So at 51, like, hey, I'm going to go into this new stage of life because, a book is life. It's a new chapter. And like, I want you to do this with me. You know what I mean?
So the thing is too, when we go back to that now, so we say, okay, I have worked out. I have taken care of myself. I do eat right. And I've done it for a long period of time, right? But so does that mean then, hey, for that girl, do I have to go out with a younger girl that's 10 years younger than me that can do these things?
Yes.
Right?
I said, there's nothing wrong with
that. Or whatever amount of years younger than me so that we can do those things. Right?
Yeah.
Because do you think women get burnt out, though, to a point like, for me at 49, I'm not burnt out. I don't know if it's genetics. I don't know if it's just like my sister says, it's survival skills from day one. We just go, go, go. So I'm going to be 50 next year and I'm not burnt out. Like, I get up, I take care of my grandma, I take care of the house. Like, I make sure now that Seth's back, like he has what he needs. Like, you know, I had GL weekend and it was a blast having her because we did this and that. Like, we go. I don't really get to work out like I used to, but a lot of women at my age.
But you don't need to.
I like to hike to stay toned.
But I said you don't need to.
I could get flabby if I don't work out.
But you're never going to look like me.
Oh, I'm never going to be. It's just genetically, I'm not going to.
No, I know. So you don't need to.
Well, that's your opinion.
She does still.
No,
she does.
Here we go. Getting on the defensive. Okay.
No, because I will get flabby.
Okay, I understand that, but you're never going to get like.
But it's not about being big. It's about feeling good for myself.
No, I understand that. But that's not what we were first saying. I'm not. That's not what you were first saying.
No, for me, I don't get to work out. I don't get to go do my hikes every day like I was doing because now I have grandma.
I'm going to get back to clarifying that. No, whether she has got this body and she's petite and she's this and that, I'm not talking. I don't want that either.
Yeah.
Like, no, you need to stay active because then how are you going to have the energy to go do what I'm going to go do just because you have a nice looking figure, but you have no wind to do nothing.
Yes.
No, I want that too. Like, let's go on a bike ride. Let's go down to the beach and grab a couple cruisers and cruise on the bike, you know, and be able to follow me and do it. And I'm not saying I need to go to this crazy temple, but let's be able to live life, right?
Like,
so just because you have a body and you're not overweight or you're not this and that, you still have to kind of exercise. You still have to stay active.
There's
you still
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Oh, no, you jumped all over me for a second.
No, because you're, I guess because you're just like,
I am blessed with my dad's genetics.
You
like I'm not, that's.
Well, she's still going to look good, right, that part, but she still needs to, you know.
And I like to hike because I like to, like he said.
Mental clarity too.
Well, and that's when I hike, when I go up there, I talk to Jesus all day, the whole time, but it burns the, what is it called, endorphins off. And I feel good. Like, so I've had grandma for 4 months. And the 4 months that I've had grandma, I think I've done my hike 3 times. And the last time I did it when Aunt Laura was here, I finished it, but I was dying. Like, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, you know, when I put my jeans on now, my ass don't sit up like it used to. Yeah. And for me personally, those are the things at my age I like, because if I am seeing them out there, like someone like Tom is going to be like, oh, she's cute, but she's all flabby. Like her ass hangs, her arms hang. Like she don't put nothing into herself.
So people show where their interest is, what they want to do, what they want out of life based on how they spend their time, right? So if I like, you know, because I've trained people and stuff like that, but then I'm like, okay, so but what are you doing on your own? Or have you looked up on what are the healthiest foods to eat? Yeah. What are the best exercise to do to get this? Don't do anything. But if you're asking about it, what I'm saying is you come to me and you ask me, hey, Tom, I want to get in that shape. But you've done none of that. None of your efforts or time are looking at any of those things. You're really not that interested. You're just hitting me up, asking me in a lazy way to do a shortcut. But you're not spending none of your energy and time trying to get those things. Like, but if you showed me, hey, Tom, look at what about this exercise? I seen this, and this one. Hey, and these are the foods, and these are superfoods, and I'm into this, and I'm going to try this diet. Then I would know, hey, you're kind of invested. Now, if you come to me and say, hey, Tom, could you help me out? Hey, man, I might jump on your page. But if you're just going to come to me and just be like, hey, and then I'm trying to talk to you, and you're not listening to the half of it, and you're like, you already know the answers to the other half, it pisses me off. Like, I don't.
No, and I get that.
I don't want to help you. Yeah. Like, you're not putting it in. You're not giving me your undivided attention. You're not into it. And then so you're just kind of like, and so I'm like,
and I get that because Seth's a gym rat like you. And now that he's back home, I asked him the other day, like, I don't do anything. I don't go in there. And he sees the sacrifice that I make for my grandma that I love. But he says, Mom, like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, like, I could do squats. But what? And he's like, well, do these or do this, or with your arms do this or that. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. But have I done it? Because I always make an excuse at the end of the night that I'm tired. But he's right. Like you have to put into something that you want back. What your face is like.
So Solomon, what about your boxes?
All right. Well, we're already getting to 44 minutes.
I was just
look at you. She's cutting me off.
Well, because Solomon's married, so he doesn't have boxes.
I do have boxes.
How can you still have boxes if you're married?
Wow, you have a very narrow point of view.
Like I said, I never disagreed with Tom and his boxes. You should have those type of boxes. Maybe I have those boxes for friendship, like who I deal with, who I have relationships with. I'm just saying, as a couple, I don't, and maybe I should.
Yeah. But okay, explain that to me, Solomon. And I'm being honest, because I think when you're married, you're married.
So you're basically saying that because I'm married, I should not look at another woman. I should not place value in anything. I mean, really?
No. Well,
Wow.
now I'm really confused.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait,
Whoa.
why are you looking
Solid.
at another woman and thinking boxes if you're married?
Well, no, but ask me what my boxes are, and then you'll.
I
find out.
did.
Okay,
She
so
interrupted. Go ahead.
here are my boxes. Number one, I value a pretty face because I feel like when you wake up next to somebody, that's the thing you want to see the most.
Oh,
Right.
look at that.
So the second most important thing for me is is capability, and it just basically alludes to what Tom is talking about. You want someone who can share in your life and doing the things that you do, and then the most important thing, well, I don't know, they're all sort of important, but the ability to have an adult conversation, that's like huge. I mean, anybody, I think any man our age can go and find a good looking woman at 24, 25, but what are you going to talk about? Just the ability to have a conversation with people, to be able to express an idea and actually get an informed opinion back is important. So to me, those are the three most important things. Now, do I have those? To a degree, yes, but it doesn't mean that I don't have boxes. I still have boxes. I mean, that's important. But I also think too, and I like Tom, and I'm gonna disagree with you, Alina, just a little bit, because I feel like Tom's list is totally doable, because one thing you didn't hear a bunch of physical stuff other than I want a woman who's not taller than me. And that's most men. But, you're going to find women with good character, who are able to communicate. The issue is if you want to deal with the baggage that comes along with that, because to the girl's point, women who have gotten to that point typically have had some life experience, and it will show, and so I honestly believe that as men get older, the physical attributes become less of an issue. Just like you were talking about the guy who who was married and loved his wife even though she got chunky. That's a whole different thing. If you're married with somebody, you've been married for years and years and years, and you guys have grown together, you don't even see all of that physical stuff. All you see is the woman you married and the person that you fell in love with.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, there's other things, and you may have come across some guys who are have a wandering eye, but that's my point. If you're married for 25 years and you're with somebody, you're with them for a reason, and that reason, there's lots of things, but one of them is you still love that person.
I think it changes.
Oh, of course it changes.
And I think looks get important because I think when it becomes after 25 years or whatever, like a long-term relationship, now it's just me and you and not the kids. So you woman, because I think kids get involved, right? You spend your eye is focused on them and us building them. Now when they're gone, now you got to look at her.
People neglect themselves. Yeah. And my dad said this one time, and I was like, wow.
So I think it changed.
So they neglect them. My dad said, he said, if I told my wife, if I was married again, whatever, you're not taking very good care of my wife. If you told your own wife that, right?
Yeah.
She'd be like, what do you mean? But yeah, you want her taking care of herself.
Yeah.
And if it was somebody else that said, if someone said to me, hey, you're not taking very good care of your wife.
Yeah.
Hey, same thing for you.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. You got to have some love for yourself, and you got to do those things. And so you might think, hey, I'm keeping this whole family together and I'm doing all this because I'm doing all these other things, but I'm neglecting my husband over in this area, then maybe that whole family ain't going to be together. So what you're trying to keep together ain't even going to work because you're not taking care of this part.
Yeah.
So you still got to take care of it. It's men are visual, right? So that is true.
Yeah, they are.
They're very visual. So that's just,
that changes.
At the same time too, you have to remember, if you get to the point where your kids are gone, and then all of a sudden your husband is looking at you and saying, I want a newer model, then that means you guys weren't maintaining your relationship to begin with.
No.
And that's something you have to do. We talk about the triangle, of, if the husband's on the left, the wife's on the right, the kid's at the bottom. When they have kids, they live their relationship through the children.
Yeah.
So then when that child's gone, there's nothing in between. You have to maintain that, and you have to do it by force if necessary.
If you're doing all those other things on that checklist though, right? And even if as you're aging, and even if as you're gaining weight, and even if you're doing that, but you're making efforts to do those things, obviously you're going to age and you're not going to look like you did whatever time, and you're not going to be in the same kind of shape and all that. I don't have a problem with none of that. I don't have a problem. You're checking all those other lists off. Me and you, babe, we're good. We're
Yep.
rolling this
Yep.
direction, man.
Yep.
100%. I don't care that you freaking look like you looked 15 years ago when I met you, you know? Like, but you make efforts. You want to do things with me. You want to try to take care of yourself. You know it's a big deal to me. So you do these things because you love me. Hey, we're good. Like, we're 100% good. You don't have to, you know, don't have to be this model or something.
I don't know. Those boxers are just crazy. I think they fade off as well. Like,
well, I think if he left today and went somewhere tonight and met this girl that he just thought was gorgeous, whether she was skinny, big, whatever, those boxes, I don't even know if you just clicked with her. I don't even know if you would remember those boxes. I think you might just be like, oh, she doesn't do this, but she does more of this one, but less of that one. Like you might just the connection, the chemistry.
A lot of things is chemistry.
Sure.
So as you see, like, okay, like for whatever reason,
but if the character's not there, if the communication's not there, then no, I don't
think you would be attracted to that type of person anyways. I think you would automatically be drawn to a woman who does all that. Right. Damn, we didn't even get through my checklist. I think I did one. I said one thing.
You had the opportunity.
I didn't have much of a checklist.
You didn't say
go to
anything.
Europe. Yeah.
No, I didn't say go to Europe. It's exactly what I didn't say.
Okay.
I said I don't want or expect to go to Europe and have me pay the whole trip if we were to go.
Right.
But that wasn't even my checklist. That was when we were talking about jobs. I only said one thing on my checklist.
Your checklist was a lot of
I said two things.
What you didn't want.
He couldn't be because I let everybody talk to me.
You got 5 minutes?
I told myself I'm going to be quiet
Let's
today.
hear.
No.
You got 5 minutes.
I go, Tom, you can't handle my checklist. Didn't we say that the other day? You can't handle the truth.
Your checklist is have a job, don't use drugs. Okay.
Yeah, everything you didn't want.
Yeah.
That's hard to do on job.
Hey, you guys don't get it.
Okay, I want to hear three things before we go.
Okay, you have to have it. Oh, what did I say?
Okay, forget the job.
Yeah,
come on,
okay.
real thing.
Real thing.
Can't have young kids. Can't have like 5 baby mamas.
Oh, no kids for
can't
me.
be in a relationship. Yeah,
no kids.
Can't be in a relationship. Can't have a girl out there who thinks she's in a relationship with you. Damn, I should have looked at my phone.
But those
they're all negative. Still,
that all sounds like the same kind of thing. Like, look, except for I don't want
those seems like they're all give me.
I don't want to deal with no man with no kids.
No, I'll date someone with kids. I mean, I don't want someone with a 2 or 3 year old. I don't want
you're older.
And I don't. And the reason, and if you have 5 baby mamas, that's cool. But the thing is, I don't want 5 baby mamas coming at me.
No, I just don't. I don't want to deal with
that's a
headache, and I'm not dealing with it. And why put myself in that situation?
And you have to have a peaceful
I'm not woman enough to deal with this. So go ahead.
Okay, wait, Alina, what did you say? Because I think you finally started your checklist.
Yeah,
I said you have to have a peaceful heart. Like you got to be you got to be solid.
Okay, that's number one.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm done. I'm done. We got to come. This has to be continued. I'm done.
And they could be fat. Right?
They could. And the reason they could be big, and the reason I say this, because I know you got all offensive at me one day, is our grandfather was a heavier man.
Yeah.
And he was probably, for me personally, the most amazing human being to this day I've ever met. And so for me, I didn't see my grandpa being obese or fat or overweight. What I saw was love and joy and happiness. And Mija, go make me some brownies, but don't tell your grandma.
So if a 300-pound man came up to you,
you never know. You just never know.
Yeah, because you had the history of a 300 man go up to you and you were like, yeah, you're a good candidate. Don't lie.
Can't even get his foot in the door.
But 300 pounds can be proportioned a certain way.
I'm just saying, but that because you've been attracted to that.
Well, I'm gonna say I've dated some pretty thick guys.
Okay, but 300 pounds.
I don't know how much Adrian weighs. Like, I don't want to go back and ask and find out, but he wasn't a small guy. Like, I don't know. Like, who knows? So, but my point is, that part to me doesn't matter. Like, I don't. It's more of, like you said, can you make me laugh? Is your heart peaceful?
Number 2, make me laugh. I like that.
Where are you at in life? Like, where do you want to? And I don't need to go to Europe. That's not my point. I said simple trips to Palm Springs or to Santa Barbara or something like that. I do want to just get out a little bit. I've done so much for everybody else.
Like I said, there was nothing wrong here with your guys.
I just want a simple.
Everybody's in a different stage of their life.
Healthy-hearted man is what it is.
Yeah. All right. So, that's 3 good ones.
I don't know. I got to keep going. But
here, wait. I'm going to give you this for that. There you go.
Wow.
That's for you. 3 good ones.
Wow. All right. Well, are we all good?
So have you attracted any of these type of men? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. I get guys that are like, I don't know if I have like Save Me, like Captain Save-A-Hole on my forehead or something. Yeah. But for some reason, and I think it's like, I have met great guys. And you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to say his name because he's married. I don't want to put his name out there.
Yeah, you did a name drop.
But,
I was like, whoa, where did that come from? All right.
But he was a great guy. He was everything, right? Everything on the checklist. But because I put my kids first, it didn't happen. And so I've met quite a few guys, but I've always put my kids first. And that might not have been the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
Wait, what does that have to do with Captain Save-A-Ho? I don't know.
Well, today, and the last few years, guys that ask me out or guys that I might think, oh, they're kind of cute. It's always like there's an issue or a problem. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be your mom. I'm not trying to make your life better. I'm not trying to put you together. Like you already have to be put together at my age. Like I'm not trying to.
I just find this checkbox, I'm just saying, because I think, like I said, we attract, right? Like, so you're saying you have this checkbox, there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, you're in a different point in your life, but this whole do you attract these checkbox? Do you, Tom, attract this checkbox list that you have? Does it just?
I don't know. I think.
Well, I know you're fairly new, so it's kind of like.
I think you can attract it.
I think
that you don't need to chase it. You could attract it just by living
my
your life.
question is, does it come to you? I'm not saying
I don't go anywhere. He goes out at least. He throws himself out there.
I think, but that's because you have the image. So like if I'm a chubby little torta, I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna approach this guy that I know is a gym rat. He's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna think I'm hot with a cellulite. Like, no.
She might be like, help me make me look like you, baby. Like, help me get my life together.
Look at this role play. Okay, let's just role play now, Tom.
I think though, it's like kind of what you're saying to her. She's going after these guys, that they're just this kind of character, man, and she's fine with that as long as they're heavy and as long as there's that. And I kind of like hear that from women all the time. Like, as long as he makes me laugh, as long as this and that.
Because I don't feel like our box is very strong. But our strong,
but to that, I kind of call bullshit on that.
There you go.
I knew you were going to say that.
And the reason I call bullshit on that is because that guy will never get his foot in the door with you. How are you going to, unless you're working with this guy on a daily basis and getting to know the person that he is, unless you're around this guy every day, talking about your life and his life and the character of man that he is.
Are you done, Tom?
Wait a minute. You're never going to know that. So that guy, if he doesn't attract you in some kind of way, like he needs to attract you in somewhere to where you're even going to give him the time of day to talk to him. So if this guy's just like, oh, he's a great man inside, how are you ever going to know? Yeah. You're never going to know that guy is that guy.
Yeah.
Unless, maybe luckily you're in an atmosphere that you're working with this guy and you're hearing him out every day. And then you're growing and you're like, wow, this guy is interesting. This guy is amazing. This guy has a great heart. This guy, and then you can start building a relationship and maybe kind of like having a crush on this guy at that point, even if he's heavy.
What if it's reversed? What if you met, like she said, some little chubby torta at work? And he's not
going to give that torta a minute.
No,
he's not giving that torta a minute.
Well, you said you're okay with that. I didn't say I was okay with that.
Yeah, like you guys is
I'm not even
either way. That little checkbox list that you guys are throwing out there takes time to see. Right? Because someone could bullshit you. Like, so your guys' checkbox.
Because it takes a year to even really know somebody anyway.
So you guys got this check-off list. I don't even see when you're going to check it off because that takes time to get to know
like,
all of them.
you got a white tee and some J's? We good. Let's go.
We good. Come on. Let's go. We might go real big, just go to Vegas. That's as high as I'm trying to go. I ain't trying to go too far. And we ain't going in the summer, fool. It's too hot out there. I'm tripping.
All right. Well, are we good?
Yeah.
Have we got through it?
So you guys are going through your boxes because that takes time.
It's
good that they're there. And in time, you'll see if it gets checked off. But it all takes time.
I'm waiting for him to call me and be like, I met this girl. I'm going to go, wait, pull out the checklist. No, Tom, pull out that checklist and let's go down.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Mm-hmm. I'm right there. Yep. Hey, I'm excited at Tom's adventure.
And he goes out. So he puts himself out there. So it's not like me where I just sit at home.
Killer. You don't go out that much.
No, but I'm saying he leaves his house. Yes, he leaves his house. Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll miss you. You'll be gone for a few weeks. Wow. Okay. I don't know about you. You might be back.
Where are you going?
You pissed me off today, so I don't know. She's going to take some vacation.
I'm not taking a vacation. She's lying.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to go get a new body. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I don't care who says what.
We'll see that body when you come back.
We'll see how it works.
Solomon's like, so when you coming back, sister? I want to see that.
I'm not going to lie. Okay.
All right. Well, we killed it today. So thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Bye, Solomon.
Bye.
He said, bye.
All right.